Hey G fans, GojiFan93 here, and well, I just got finished watching the Revenge of Iris, the Gamera 3 film, and you know, I don't know why you guys were like telling me that this was the best film because frankly, I thought it was the worst actually in the whole trilogy. Nah, I'm just joking, guys. I'm kidding. Oh my god, this film. Wow. Like, I'm not joking, guys. Like, this film, for like all kaiju films in general, this film, Gamera 3 Revenge of Iris, is one of the best films I have seen in a very long time. This film, and this is coming from a hardcore Godzilla fan and not a really hardcore Gamera fan, this film rivals, okay, listen, rivals Godzilla or GMK. Okay. Now what's funny is that it's also from the same director, which that makes sense. But guys, I mean, the effects, the soundtrack, the characters, Iris himself, Gamera himself. I mean, oh my god. I mean, it's like the everything in this film just was amazing. I just got finished watching it. Right now you're probably watching because I'm replaying it just to have something in the background, but like my jaw was like literally on the ground when the credits rolled. I mean, I was like, oh, and they left it on a cliffhanger. But I'll get to that first, or I'll get to that later. But okay, so first, basically, I mean, it takes off right after the second one. But apparently, Gaios, the main enemy of the first one, apparently there's more of them now, and there's like flocks of them, and they're just everywhere now. So now Tokyo, or well, Japan in general, they're all terrified of Gaios coming back and terrorizing things. But now Gamera's back, and the first scene where Gamera pops in and fights some, he fights like one Gaios, but like all of a sudden like everyone's like talking in Tokyo, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, and all of a sudden they look up, and there's a Gaios that's burning on fire, falling from the sky. It lands on the ground. Gamera ends up showing up, and first off, his look. Whoa, what happened to him? Like, in the first one and the second one, he kind of looked kind of cute, but in this one, he's just like this angry, aggressive monster. It's awesome. It is so awesome, and you can definitely see the director from this movie. You can see GMK all over this film. And but what's really cool is that like they had this really gross scene with a Gaios that was on the ground, and he was kind of bleeding because he just got beaten up by Gamera. His eyeball is literally like hanging from his skull, and he's like, ugh, and Gamera comes over and just blasts the fuck out of him. Oh my god. And all of a sudden, Gamera just starts like, I mean, while he's trying to kill the Gaios guys, he just starts like killing everyone. I mean, Gamera doesn't even give a shit anymore. He's just like, all right, there are scenes of legit humans being murdered here. Like, you actually see this. You feel for them this time. Frankly, the only Godzilla film that I actually saw collateral damage from was GMK. Like, GMK actually made you feel bad for the humans because there were scenes where you literally saw Godzilla kill humans. In any other Godzilla film, you really don't get that sense of, oh no, like you kind of don't really care. You just want to see destruction. But with this Gamera movie, you see people getting massacred, flames everywhere, exploding, stomped on, buildings falling on them. It's insane. And it really brings up the tenseness in this movie. Is that a word, tenseness? I don't know. But and like, let's see what else. There's just so much to talk about. The characters are really good. They bring back both characters from the first one and the second one. The girl with that held the Gamera little thing that broke in the second one, and then they also brought back that scientist who was into the birds. She was a really good actor. And they had this new character where, oh, they also brought back that cop, which was from the first one. I think that was awesome. He's in this one as like a hobo guy or whatever. But anyways, but the new characters is this girl who finds this, well, there's like bullies. It's kind of a side story, I don't really care, but like there's she finds this cave that supposedly has this legendary monster in it that no one's supposed to go in there, and then if it gets unleashed, then it will bring the destruction of humanity. Basically, this is Iris. Oh, and actually, before this, I don't want to get too ahead of myself. There's a flashback of her that shown Gamera actually killed her family. And what's really cool with this flashback is they make Gamera look terrifying. They make Gamera look like the dead, I mean, basically. And what's really cool is that they actually, they made Gamera look like Godzilla GMK. Like, they gave him soulless eyes, and he looked like a ghost, you know, it was really awesome. So anyway, so she now has a hatred towards Gamera, and there was a cat that she had that was named Iris. And basically that cat obviously got killed along with her family when she was in the car looking at the destruction. So basically when she finds this new monster in this like cave, and the thing hatches, and it's like this really cute little well, it's not like an octopus, but it has like tentacles. It looks like, I thought it was like a Gamera baby at first because it had like a shell and it kind of looked like Gamera's head, but then I realized no, that's not it. And she was bonding with it, and she named it Iris. And then I thought to myself, I was like, wow, so this whole movie, why it's called Revenge of Iris, is basically her and her cat, the cat getting revenge on Gamera. I just think that's hilarious. But anyways, so yeah, she ends up like bonding with it. Eventually it breaks out of the cave, and it starts wandering the place. She runs to it, she finds it in the forest, and she's like, oh my gosh, I shouldn't have left you, I'm sorry. And all of a sudden the thing just like, I don't know, fucking stands up or whatever on its tentacles. Now, side note, this is Japan, and there's tentacles, and my dirty mind was going places where it shouldn't have. I'm not afraid to admit that. But the scene where she literally does this, she like starts unbuttoning her shirt, and she says, I'm a little hot, or like, she's like, Iris, I'm getting hot, and I'm like, oh no, what is this turning into? Is this gonna turn into what I think? But it didn't. But basically, Iris does take her in, and like sucks her into, I guess, fuse or something like that. And then her brother finds her, which the brother's supposed to be like he's like supposed to be the next guardian of this cave, and obviously he failed at his job because it obviously got broken in. So he brings like this knife, which his grandma told him was like this legendary, I think like 9-inch knife or whatever. And so he cuts open the like eggshell looking thing, and like incubator, and he takes his sister out, and he's like, what were you doing? Oh my god. And he takes her on his back, and she's now totally just like, bleh. All she's thinking of is she's bonding with Iris. She needs to go back to Iris. So basically then that little Iris baby evolves a little bit, and then totally just slaughters her whole family and the whole village too. And so they all come up and they find out that, you know, oh my god, what happened here? They think it was Giles, but obviously they said, no, Giles can't do this. And a really creepy scene, like, all of a sudden, like, they're walking through the house, and a zombie, looks like a zombie, but one of the villagers, like, pops down the ceiling and is like, and you're like, oh my god, and like, and you're like, this is a kaiju film? Like, man, they're, like, really kicking ass in this film. But so Iris eventually evolves to his full form, and he's just, guys, like, this kaiju is so freaking original, creative, awesome looking. I can't explain how badass Iris looks. Officially, Iris is my #1 favorite monster in the Gamera films, because this guy, there's some elegance to this kaiju. It's not like he's just a big hulking blow up everything. Just the way he moves and stuff, and they make the CGI work pretty well too. And by the way, I was talking about production with this movie. This was 1999. Here we go again. As a hardcore Godzilla fan, this film looks better than Godzilla 2000. That came out in 1999 in the same year. Gamera 3 looked better than Godzilla. Did I just say that? Because that's what I think. This film looks like it should be in the Millennium series of Gamera. Like, Gamera the Brave, I guess, is the Millennium series. Like, it almost matches up to GMK, which is why it's so cool, because you can just, I mean, I know I'm making so many comparisons from GMK to this one. It's just because it's the same director, which means he has the same vision, the same special effects team, or the same orchestra, the same music. And the music, by the way, is shit, it's amazing. Oh my god, it moves you. It's so powerful. It's just awesome, just like the way, well, GMK's soundtrack is. But anyways, so now, you know, Iris is wanting to connect again with that girl, and then he ends up going to the town Kyoto, I think it was, and, you know, starts destroying shit, and Gamera all of a sudden pops down, and then it just becomes the awesome battle. The whole city's on fire, everyone's dead or either running or injured, and, like, it's just crazy. And so they all start this cool battle, and at first Iris, like, totally kills, well, not really kills, but maims, like, Gamera, like, stabs him in the stomach and, like, literally punctures him all the way through, and it's nuts. And then, so Gamera's, like, pretty much dead. They're all in the subway. I also forgot that these two characters, one of them is, like, a psychic girl. The other guy's, like, a crazy Armageddon lover, and he's just like, ooh, the Armageddon's coming. And he always has his hands like this. He's like a classic villain dude. He's like, ooh, the world's going to end because, you know, the Iris is the new evolution of Gaios, and Gamera will never win. And it's just this, he was such a cartoony character, but he was still cool. But he ends up dying, but, you know, who cares? So Iris eventually tries to get to that girl again, and, like, he sucks her up. But what sucks is that right before he sucks her up, the girl all of a sudden snaps out of it, and she's like, no, and then she gets sucked in. What a trip this part was for her. Like, she was floating in in Iris, and she's just like, whoa. And there's, like, this big eyeball, and it's really weird. But then all of a sudden, Gamera comes out of nowhere, smashes through Iris's stomach. Blood and guts are everywhere. I gotta say, this is the most goriest kaiju film I have ever seen. It is so gory, but it's awesome. I love it. I wish Godzilla was a little bit more gory, but oh well. So yeah, he smashes through that. He actually, I thought he actually killed the girl first because he totally just smashed his hand through, you know, Iris's stomach. But then all of a sudden, he, like, rips her out, and he literally has her in, like, a cocoon kind of thing. And then Iris is all like, oh fuck, and he uses his blade and stabs Gamera in his hand through here. Then Gamera's like, well, shit, totally blows off his hand so he can get away before Iris blasts him with, like, these weird orb-looking energy things, and then totally just, like, kills Iris. Just, like, he explodes. Gamera finds a way to totally kill him, and just, like, boom, this huge explosion, and bam, that's it for Iris. And then, you know, the end of the film happens where the girl realizes, like, wow, you saved me, Gamera. It's pretty cool. And Gamera's just, like, standing there going, yeah. But, and the film just, it has this really interesting ending. And it just has this good feeling ending. And, like, it's just so good. It's just so good. Just like The Rebirth of Mothra 3, there's nothing wrong with this film. This film is 100% good. GojiFan93's said it, 100% good, a Gamera film. Just like GMK. Godzilla GMK was also 100% good. This Gamera movie is 100% good. It blows the whole trilogy out of the water. This one is, it's just phenomenal. That's why I'm talking about it for so long, because there's so much to talk about. And this, like I said, guys, this is a hardcore Godzilla fan who didn't really care about Gamera. I watched this film, look at me, I'm talking like I'm a crazy fan about him. But I'm not, but it definitely makes me appreciate Gamera a lot more as a real kaiju. You know, so, obviously I don't think I could go and watch the Showa now because I would be so disappointed, but I think this Gamera trilogy is pretty much what I'll watch. I'll probably watch Gamera the Brave, you know, the next one. But I can tell you guys, I mean, this film, it's just amazing. If you have not seen it, go out and get yourself Gamera trilogy on Blu-ray, okay? And watch them all, but when you watch the third one, just sit back, grab some popcorn, and oh my god, you're in for a ride. Okay, so, oh, and at the end of the film, all of a sudden, the Control Center Army dudes are saying, hey, the US and Russia are saying that a whole bunch of Gaios flock is coming towards Japan. And they're all like, oh, fuck. And it leaves on a cliffhanger. It literally leaves on a cliffhanger where the Gaios, there's a huge swarm of Gaios coming towards Japan, and Gamera has to fight them off, and Gamera doesn't have his right hand. Yeah, his right hand. So it's like, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna keep on, you know, I don't know. But they left it on a cliffhanger, and it makes me wish they continued this story. But as an overall trilogy, this was amazing. I'm very glad you guys recommended this to me. Thank you guys so much for opening my horizon with kaiju films. I'm definitely going to be watching more. I want to see more. I want to see War of the Gargantuans. I want to see Varan the Invincible or Unbelievable. I want to see Rodan. I want to see the first Mothra. I have seen the first Rodan. I have seen the first Mothra, but I just want to buy them and I want to rewatch them. There's so many that I want to see. I want to now start watching the Ultraman series, and I might watch the old Gamera movies. I'm not sure. Definitely, I'll first watch Gamera the Brave, and I'll probably leave the Showa series, and I'll probably turn my brain off and be like, okay, this was the really weird, kind of Gamera movies, but you know, whatever. So, anyways, guys. This was such a great film. Go out and get yourself this. It's amazing. I highly recommend it. It is so worth your time. It rivals GMK. It shows that Gamera can be dark. It's not. This movie's not for kids, by the way. Holy crap! This movie's not for like really little kids who are squeamish or anything like that, or get scared really easily because. Yeah, like, this film's dark, okay? Like, this film's like the Dark Knight trilogy, basically. This is what it is. It's like, this is Gamera, the Dark Knight trilogy, basically. But, so, man, it's awesome. I'm so glad you guys recommended it to me. It's an amazing film. So, go out and watch it. Get yourself the copy. It's easy to find. I found this at Walmart for like $7. So, yeah. And, that's it. So, what a movie. So, and actually not just a kaiju film, just a movie in general. A film in general, this movie really, it's up there. So, yeah. So that's it from me. Tell me in the comments what you guys think. And that's it. So stay big, G fans.